And I told her I don't care if he is her husband. Right now,
It's time to rise from the grave, pour yourself a cup, and enjoy the coffee crypt.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Coffee Crypt Coffee Break Edition with my friend Norin. How you doing, buddy?
Doing very good, Steve. Thank you for having me on again. It's always a blessing and awesome to be a part of this.
A blessing and a pleasure. Wouldn't be the same without you, these coffee breaks. So for today, I hope everyone had a happy, safe, healthy, spooky Halloween.
Oh, yeah,
This
definitely.
is our first episode back in a while. Had a little bit of a break with the Coffee Crypt episodes, but now we're back, celebrating Norin had the idea of doing a sort of a Halloween hangover. I'm sure everyone's had enough candy. We're recording this pre-Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I've
But-
already been eating the trick-or-treating candy.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to get a new bag for Halloween.
Yeah, I still have, like I said, a couple bags stored up and everything. We do pretty good. We're actually pretty popping. Usually, like last year, I almost ran out. We almost ran out of candy last year. That's how many trick-or-treaters we had.
Yeah. Now, are your kids young enough to go trick-or-treating?
Yeah, so my son he's gonna be 7. He's around 6 or 7, and then my daughters are both 13.
Okay. What's everyone being this year?
So my daughter Izzy's going as Ghostface, and then my daughter Sunny's gonna be Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, and then my son Maverick, he's gonna be, I believe it's Locke was the other character from Nightmare Before Christmas, the little devil kid.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I forget which one.
Yeah,
was
Locke, Shock, and Barrel. Yeah.
One of them was what's her name? Catherine O'Hara. I know.
Yeah, the voice. Yeah.
Who is amazing. She's also Sally, so she's jack of all trades.
Yeah,
Catherine
she's a
O'Hara.
horror icon. She's a gem.
We're our little guy's only 2, so we're still doing our family costumes. So we're gonna be Mario, Luigi, and Donkey Kong.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna be Mario. My husband's
You're gonna
Luigi.
be Mario.
And little
Donkey Kong
Andy's
for
gonna
the
be
little one.
Donkey Kong. Yeah. He's got his monkey outfit and then his red tie.
That's so cute.
Yeah, we'll post pictures up on Instagram or something for people to see.
You'll see all of us. Yeah, our socials. You'll see on Twitter or Instagram. You'll see pictures of us and stuff.
I'll put them up. So Halloween hangover episode. Now that spooky season is coming to a close or has closed at this point. For us horror fans, it never really ends, right? So, but we go through waves, right? We try to. I don't know. Are you very themed when it comes to your movie watching? Like, do you watch only very specific stuff around Halloween time, Christmas time? Are you really watching Christmas horror? And how do you usually? Is that what you do?
Yeah, for me, I'm a very themed kind of person. There are certain stuff that I'll get into that's random, like a couple TV shows I wanted to bring up, we'll talk about. But in terms of movies, typically during Thanksgiving or Christmas time, this is when I'll get into the other holiday horror films. So like I said, Thanksgiving, which we recently got from Eli Roth, and then other Christmas horror type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really sort of a good time to then start really watching Christmas. I mean, because people watch Christmas movies, some people watch them all year round. But November, right, is really when you start. But now that we've gotten Thanksgiving, like you said, from Eli Roth. We've had some Thanksgiving-esque horror movies. But yeah, why don't you give us what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of all right, it's November, I'm gonna put something on. What are you watching?
So for me, November, I know this is kind of campy and silly. This is a movie that it's not a good movie. I'm going to tell people right now, to be honest, this isn't a good movie. It's just a movie that I like to watch because it's so silly. And I love the fact that it exists, and it's Thanksgiving. This is streaming on too. You like Thanksgiving? Sweet. So Steve is a fan of it. So there's multiples of this too. It's basically a talking turkey that is possessed, and he goes around killing people, but he talks, and he has very silly one-liners, kind of like Freddy Krueger, but it's just
Yeah.
it's done in a very B-movie awful way, and it's just so funny, and I love that it exists. So
I
Thanksgiving would
mean,
be
I think it opens up with the topless pilgrim, right?
yeah, you get a topless shot within the first 2 minutes of this movie.
It's a mess, but it's a fun mess.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that it's not afraid to be what it is. It knows exactly what it is, and that's all it's trying to be. It's not trying to be Oscar award winning tier level kind of stuff.
No, and there's like a running gag with like John Benet Ramsey throughout the film, so it's not like afraid to be like tasteless. It's
Yeah.
okay. No, Thanksgiving is a fun one. I mean, I love those kinds of movies, like Ginger Dead Man, right? Like I
Yep.
love Killer Bomb. I mean, there's a bunch of those movies that are so bad, but they're fun. I mean, ones that are a little more self-aware. In that vein, I love like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That one's great too. Yeah, that one's more old school. I love that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, definitely, I think that's a great one. Yeah, I love sort of over the top. I don't always go for like the holiday horror for like November.
Okay.
It's certainly like, yeah. I mean, now is like a good time to start watching like Krampus. I'll throw Krampus
Fantastic.
out there.
That's definitely a good one. Was it Michael Daughtry that did that one, right? Is the director of that one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I know it's got the maid from 2.5 Men. It's got Adam Scott. It's got
Tony Collette
in it. Like it's a fun movie. Was it? I think it was it PG-13 as well, or was it R? I feel like it was PG-13.
I don't remember there being gore. Yeah, like I don't remember there being like an overuse of gore. There's a lot of practical effects and creature designs and stuff, but I don't remember being a lot of gore. My favorite part of Krampus is the sister when she's trying to get to the boyfriend's house, and then you see him hopping on the roofs, and you kind of get that silhouette with the blue and the moonlight. That's a great shot.
Yeah. I mean, more Krampus movies for sure. I mean, I remember there was one. Was it the anthology Christmas Horror Story? Had a Krampus
That's a good one
story
too.
in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that one did.
That was a good anthology film, if I remember correct. I don't remember all of the segments in it, but I just remember like Santa fighting Krampus at one point, right?
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That has a good twist too. So we don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, that one has a fantastic twist. That specific story, and I can't remember some of the other ones. I think there was like evil elves or something in one of them, and then there was one that had to do with a story between one of the girls from Hellfest. I know the actress; she was in that. One of the girls that was in Hellfest. So
Right. Oh, okay. Hellfest, was that the one with from the Scream series? Talk about her?
I didn't actually watch the Scream TV show. That's one thing I never actually watched, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I mean, it was okay.
But yeah, Hellfest was 2018, and yeah, it was about the kids that go to like one of those haunted little things where they can scare you and everything, but of course they end up getting stalked by the
I think
other.
what's her name, Bex something. So she also did a voice for one of the Voltron characters in the new Voltron.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Pit. Did you watch that? Did you watch that series?
No, I've seen the original Voltron, but not the new one.
The new one's I actually really like the new one. But yeah, she voices Pidge, I think. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that is a good choice, though, Krampus. That's a fantastic choice.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one you want to throw out?
So now I wanted to talk about, I guess, a TV show. So this one is currently, I wanted to bring it up because it currently is streaming on Tubi. You can watch all of it. I don't know if people remember this, but this is very 90s nostalgia. So anybody who's a 90s child might be into this, and that's Erie, Indiana. It was kind of like these short story episodes, kind of like Goosebumps, but they all take place in this city of Erie, Indiana, because obviously it's the weirdest town in the country, apparently. Yeah. And like the first one is just about forever Tupperware, and Tupperware that you lock yourself in and you can stay young forever and everything. So it's really funny. There's some bad episodes, but there's some really good ones. And like I said, just that 90s nostalgia, and it's got fun fall vibes, but also kind of leads into, like I said, November time too. So that's why I like watching it around this time.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, nope. I remember it's like a 1-season show, right? Or like
I believe they only did one season. Yeah, I think so.
It didn't last long. It's one of those obscure. It's sort of like one of those shows that they were. You see, I saw the TV Glow.
Yeah, I did watch that this year. I did watch that. Yeah,
I love that movie. Obviously they were very specifically referencing Buffy mostly, but it's also kind of referencing shows like that, right? Like Erie, Indiana, these like one season short shows that kind of popped up in the '90s that were just really weird.
they were very pop culture. Yeah, when they came out, like it was very pop culture. But like you said, after their time, they just kind of vanish for some reason.
Yeah. I also really love movies like because I don't think it took place during the holidays, but I mean certainly it's a time for family gatherings and being with people you can't stand sometimes. So for that reason, I think it's a good time to watch You're Next.
That's a
Uh,
great one.
it's not necessarily holiday themed, but it's definitely family gathering themed. I think it's like winter or fall when the movie takes place.
Yeah, because they have coats on. Yeah, I remember them having coats on and stuff. So it is around the
It
family
is around
gathering
this time of
season.
year. So like it fits. And just talk about like family dysfunction. We get a fantastic final girl that does not get enough love in this in the zeitgeist. I see people talk about Aaron a lot, but like it's very specific people. It's usually the same accounts that I see talking about her. So she hasn't taken off the way I think some people would like her to. But it's really funny. It's got a sense of humor. I would definitely say it's a horror comedy, more on the action and the horror, but it's definitely got a fun sense. I remember seeing this with my friend, and there's this one scene where they open the door, and then the one sister, she's like, "I'm gonna run really fast." And
Fast.
she's like, "I could do this." And when that whole scene played out, my friend and I were just dying in the theater. We were because then it was also in slow motion, and it was so done. It was done so like tongue in cheek, but it was it was great. So I definitely it's a fun movie. Family dysfunction, great for this time of year. Not necessarily holiday, but it fits thematically for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a great pick for sure. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of fun cast members in there. Great kills. Home invasion premise. So if you like home invasion movies, that's definitely going to be kind of your thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the animal masks are really cool in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Definitely an underrated slasher.
Yeah.
Or home
So of the
invasion.
modern ones, yeah. It's of the modern slasher era, it's definitely probably top tier for sure.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So, sticking with TV, or are we going to movies?
Yeah, we'll stick with TV now. We'll stick, keeping it in line with the '90s nostalgia. We got to talk about the original Goosebumps because recently I did watch the new Goosebumps with Justin Long. So I did watch that too and kind of go through that, and it kind of sparked that love for going back to the '90s one, which is currently on, I believe, Disney Plus or Tubi. That's where you can stream the old Goosebumps TV show, which I think had 2 seasons. This one had 2 seasons, and they kind of go through all the books and stuff, which I have some of the books
Goosebumps
here.
only had 2 seasons?
I think the first run of it was only 2 seasons. I think so. There might have been a third, but as far as I can,
maybe maybe because when you're living it, it feels like it's on much longer. But I guess maybe it wasn't on that long.
but yeah, it's really fun to return to those episodes. And like me, I've just been kind of on a '90s nostalgia kick, and for some reason, like watching these shows, I'm like they kind of fit like this time of year. You know what I mean? Like I think throughout November, I'm just gonna kind of go through the whole show.
I should rewatch them. Same thing with Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't know if you were going to bring that up or not.
Oh man, that's a great one. That's a good. No, I wasn't, but fabulous to bring that up. That's another fantastic one.
I think I was definitely more of an Are You Afraid of the Dark than a Goosebumps kid. I still watched them both, but I think I was just more excited for Are You Afraid of the Dark. I just dug that show. The opening scared the crap out of me every time. Like the creaky rocking horse, the swing, the clown in your face. It was so too scary for kids. But Nickelodeon was like, sure, let's do it. Yeah. Oh man, I loved it. I love the new Goosebumps act. Do you say you watched the Justin Long one?
Yeah, I was actually quite fascinated with it. That was
it was so good. Now I'm excited for this. What's Ross from Friends for some reason? David Schwimmer. Totally blanked on his name
David.
for a second. That it looks good though. I watched the trailer. It looks like it's gonna be. I mean, I'm bummed that we're not going back. I mean, unless there's going to be a twist, and they are
That's
actually
true.
going.
We know R.L. Stein. R.L. Stein with the twists.
Yeah, unless they are going to go back to Justin Long and those kids. Although, is it a different time period? I don't know. I
I
forget.
haven't seen the trailer, so that one I don't know. I might watch the trailer, but yeah, because like I said, I just finished the other show, and I was just fascinated, like you said, with the characters. They're really good characters, so I would love to go back to them. So even if they do this whole season and they don't go back to them, maybe if they do a season 3, maybe they'll kind of bring them all together or something. That'd be even more fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, like, heck, we got a whole season of those characters, which is, more than we got with Goosebumps and the original Goosebumps in terms of like
Yeah.
continuity, like other than like the dummy or like a couple of
Yeah, because
two-parters.
there's not that many. Yeah, like I said, there's only a few 2-parter episodes, and a lot of the protagonists, like I said, they always change because there's different stories and different characters and stuff.
Yeah. So I love the idea of like weaving some together. And they did the Halloween party was such a cool way to get a lot of the artifacts spread out, and like everything kind of came back to the Halloween party for a bit, and then it all
I
became
know.
its own thing. It was just so cool the way it was crafted. Yeah, no, I'm excited. And now that we're doing like 5 or 6 new stories with this season with Schwimmer. It's again so weird that he's in it, but I'm all for it. But yeah, no, I guess my bounce back to you would then be Are You Afraid of the Dark, which had some crazy stories that stuck with me as a kid. There was one I can't remember the titles of any of these, but this is what's kind of cool about those old stories, right? Then they almost become like bad, like scary dreams you had, right? Where
Yeah.
you can't quite remember all the details, but you just remember very specific things. Where there was like 2 siblings shared a room. I think it was a brother and a sister. And then the brother got really sick. And then he would see like this demon come to him at night. And like at first it seemed like it was like helpful, and it was like refilling his water for him because he was like in bed sick for like days or something. But then it became this whole weird thing with like witchcraft and like and then siblings were disappearing. Yeah, like that was a creepy one. There's a lot of good ones. So yeah, that would be like my rebuttal or response to you would be do Are You Afraid of the Dark as well, because those two pair really well.
Definitely.
What else you got for us?
So next, let's see. For next, kind of going into more of the Christmas ones, because we're getting into November now. It's always a fun time. I'm kind of a 2-time-a-year Gremlins kind of person. So Gremlins, typically when it gets to this time of year, November is the perfect time. I'll put it on. And then even again, when I do put up my Christmas tree, Gremlins will be playing on in the background. So I think for me, that's a perfect kind of Halloween hangover film because it has a lot of strong horror vibes, but it also has Christmas vibes. It's funny. And I think it's really, really funny too that Gremlins I think it's the second Indiana Jones film are like the main films for the changing of the PG-13 R ratings, like the fluctuation and the difference in changes. Those were the 2 movies.
Temple of Doom, Gremlins, Poltergeist. A couple of those films got cited for creating the PG-13.
Yeah, which is funny because when you watch them, the content, and like I said, there's a lot of dark content in Gremlins that you would not probably want to show your kids and stuff. But when we watch it, it's just this wholesome vibe because we got introduced to it at such a young age,
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Yeah, like what is that line? And I also remember like the 80s was also like a crazy time
Yes.
too, in terms of like things were coming through, but then you also had like Satanic Panic, and then people were getting like super like they were getting like super evangelical about things in the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like this push to like save the children was really happening. We're seeing that again a little bit, but now everything comes back in vogue. But Dungeons and Dragons was satanic at the time,
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny how there's always those mothers against horror movies for a long time, and video games and slashers were a big thing, in the 80s. People were always fighting against them and stuff. So yeah, it's always been kind of almost like a rebel thing to like horror movies or like horror content. It's been kind of almost like a rebel thing ever since we were kids.
Yeah. Although I will say, it's always funny we see these religious groups against horror movies, and I'm like, well, the Bible's some of the most violent stuff you will ever read. But anyway, I mean, I've been to my grandmother's house. I mean, I've seen plenty of, people on crosses.
You're like, oh yeah, there's a lot
That's
of stuff
pretty
in that
gory.
book.
I'm gonna say that. I'm not knocking religion. I'm just, making comparisons. But anyway, yeah, that's a good one. I think Gremlins is one of my favorites. That would have been one of mine, but I'm not gonna, I'll just be like, put a little
Yeah.
asterisk. Me too.
Me too.
I second that one. Yeah, I mean, again, this time of year, I mean, obviously, you get your Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, anything sort of
Yep.
any Tim Burton movie, I think, is perfect for this time of year. Not just Halloween. I think sort of if you want fall vibes, you do your like Beetlejuice, you do your like Edward Scissorhands, you do
That's
your
a good one.
like any really anything Tim Burton. Although I will say, I just finally watched Lisa Frankenstein with my husband the other night. Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I love Lisa Frankenstein. That was a good one. Yeah.
I am so bummed I didn't go see it in theaters. I absolutely love that movie.
It gave me almost I forgot what. There's another movie from back in the day. It kind of gave me vibes of, but yeah, it was really fun. I did stream that one too. I didn't get a chance to go to the theaters.
Oh man, but now that's going to be a yearly thing for me. I honestly think that would be a really good movie this time of year because it's sort of like that, like because the way I describe it, it's like Tim Burton directed Heathers, but if Tim Burton was a better feminist. And that not that Tim Burton isn't. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. But although he's said some weird things.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's so good because it definitely has like that back to school vibes. It has sort of just general fall-esque early winter-esque feelings to it. Just because it's very high school themed, and I always associate that with this time of year. Homecoming, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would almost, yeah, it's a new movie I just saw, and I didn't even expect to put that on my list, but I'm going to say Lisa Frankenstein. I honestly think that would be a really cool, that or Valentine's Day. I almost feel like you can kind of do both, but
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be my next pick.
Nice. So let's see. For me, going on, let's see. For my next one, I'll probably go with, because we did talk about it a little bit, Eli Roth Thanksgiving, and then we have a sequel that's supposed to be coming, I believe, next year. He's writing it, I think, now, but it's supposed to come out next year, I believe, or something like that.
Well, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting, and that I like this one because I like our John Carver character, the design of some of these characters and stuff, and it was a simple kind of crazy slasher, but like I said, have that Thanksgiving family atmosphere wrapped around it, those themes. So I think this time of year is perfect, because it's one of those films that, everybody has those family members that they kind of want to hang out with, but then you don't want to hang out with them. You see them once a year and you're like, or you have that uncle that's going to get crazy drunk and say some avant-garde stuff or weird stuff. So yeah, this is a one movie that I would say perfect.
That's awesome. Nope, 100%. Yeah, I don't recency bias probably, but I'm gonna say Terrifier 3. I think that's gonna be. Have you seen it? You've seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. That's why I was waiting. When I see it, we can do was it like a box office one or like a coffee break where we can talk stuff about.
I mean, we didn't really have a box office segment planned for this one, but it's broken records. I mean,
yeah,
50 million. It's the highest rated or highest grossing non-rated film ever. So listen, Hollywood studios better be shaking in their boots because it's going to be huge. I don't know if it's a lightning in a bottle Terrifier, or we're going to see like actually competitive, non-rated, like extreme horror kind of coming back. There's a market for this. And kudos to Damien Leone for not taking studio funding. Like they wanted to buy it from him. He was like, no. And good for him.
Yeah.
I would imagine it probably would have made more too if the studios distributed it. But at the same time, it would probably not have been his thing. But anyway, I always, I say Terrifier 3 because it actually is my favorite of the trilogy.
Sweet.
I think they've nailed the tone that they're going for, because I don't really like the first one. I probably will never rewatch the first one unless I'm doing like a triple feature marathon or something.
Yeah.
I really like the second one, but there are parts of the second one where I'm like, okay, it's definitely too long. It's still a little too mean. I don't mind extreme gore. The thing with, like, because I guess what I was hoping for from art is like the perfect new slasher villain. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we got in 3. Because you sort of get this tone of like some silly 80s vibes, but then you get the extreme gore, where it makes it not fun for me personally. This is just more of a personal take. Is like when it's too mean.
Yeah.
And there's this sort of like feeling like we're just kind of watching someone torture somebody, and it's not really fun. It's artistic and cool. You're doing cool stuff, but like,
We're not saying torturing people is fun, but there's different ways to shoot different material, like you said, and different
yeah.
ways how you
And I
present it.
think they've nailed it, because arguably speaking, the stuff that he's done in Terrifier 3 is worse than he's done in Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
But tone, it's quicker, it's flashier, it's fun, he still goes into it, it's still gory, he's showing everything, he's killing kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's worse than, I just think, like, because I'm thinking in 2, I don't want this to be a whole Terrifier breakdown, but I'm thinking of the one friend that he puts the salt on and all this stuff. I'm like, it just went on a little too long, where I'm like, okay, now we're just kind of like,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Yeah, I think this harkens back, like I said, Terrifier, the way that Damien Leone does some of his stuff, it kind of harkens back to that early 2000s kind of grungy era that we had, where, like you said, Americans were doing a lot of remakes of like foreign films that were really extreme, and then we were getting remakes of older 80s films, and they were trying to go even grungier and more heavy. So I think Terrifier kind of calls back to that a little bit, but
Sure.
like you said, with 3 they wanted to throw in more of that tongue-in-cheek kind of campy nature to it.
Yeah, and it just nailed it. It pressed all the right buttons for me. And it's totally one I would go back to. I would probably do like a
Yeah.
2-3 double feature kind of thing.
That's cool.
But 3, it's like perfect Christmas horror movie, I think. So yeah, I'm excited for that to come to streaming. Actually, I think it's going to Steelbook.
Nice. Yeah, I have the Terrifier 2 Steelbook, and then I don't own the first one. Yeah, because I'm kind of like you. I don't hate the first one, but I don't like love it like I do the second one. I love the second one, and the first one's kind of more of an appreciation like kind of thing.
Yeah, it's laying the groundwork for where we end up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Terrifier 3. I think that's going to be a solid return, seasonally speaking.
Oh yeah, with those Christmas vibes, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Any other? You want to do one or two more if you have any in mind?
Let's see. I could probably do one more. Let's see. One more. I think for me, this one just calls back to, because we're talking about, like I said, leaning more into Christmas, and this one kind of has that get together vibe, but it's a sorority vibe, and we have Black Christmas. Bob Clark's Black Christmas is one of my all-time classics. It's in my top 10 horror films of all time. Like, I love this film, so returning to it, especially at this time, like I said, it's just such a fun watch for me. And it's not a fun movie, but it's a fun watch for me. I really do adore Black Christmas, that OG one. And even the first remake they did with Mary Elizabeth Winstead and some of those cast members. It's funny and it's creative. It's all about the kills and it's all about the campy stuff. Completely opposite of the first Black Christmas, but I could appreciate that first remake, not the second one as much.
No, the second one. If it wasn't called Black Christmas and they were doing their own thing, maybe, right? I think
Maybe, yeah.
I think they missed the mark of what it was supposed to be. But no, absolutely great pick. I love the original, and again, I do enjoy the remake. If only really just for the cast. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I love Katie Cassidy. I absolutely adore Andrea Martin. She's the house mom in the
remake,
but she's also in the original. She's in both, which is cool. But Andrea Martin's one of my all-time favorite actors. She's just so funny. Her comedic timing is always on point. And she does good horror too. So yeah, she's fantastic. What's a good last pick? Oh, Well, I I say I usually say it's holiday related, kind of.
Yeah.
It's more of a disaster movie than it is a horror movie. And this is my birthday tradition. Every year on my birthday, which was New Year's Eve, I watch the Poseidon Adventure. So
Nice.
it's horror adjacent because it's thriller, it's disaster, it's very 70s. So for people that don't know, the Poseidon Adventure, which I'm sure you guys know if you're watching this, it's about a ship on New Year's Eve going across the Atlantic from America to Europe. Is hit by a tidal wave at midnight and it flips upside down, and the survivors got to get up to the top. Fantastic theme, beautiful writing, great characters, some great humor that actually I think holds up. I watch it now
That's
and I'm
cool.
like, I still crack up to some of the stuff. There's a couple in it that I love. Rolo, he's sort of like the tough cop character, and he's married. I think they're married at this point, to a prostitute that he picked up off the street. So and so they like instead of like he arrested her, but instead of her going to prison or anything like that, he married her. And their dynamic is wonderful. And it's got oh my god, what's her name? Shelley Winters.
Oh,
She's an
wow.
old timey actor. This is one of her later roles. And it's got the grandfather from Willy Wonka. He's in it. Is Gene Hackman is the main actor. It's just you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I think the last time I saw this one, I want to say I was probably like in my 20s. It's been a minute. It's been like probably a good 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, this is a yearly watch for me. So this is a movie that I could probably quote as it's happening.
That's awesome.
I've been obsessed with this movie ever since I was little. And I think I watched it around the time that Titanic came out. So like I was like, oh, cool, another ship disaster movie. But for some reason, this one stuck with me more than like I can't watch Titanic yearly. I can't think of the last. I like Titanic. Can't think of the last time I watched it. But this one, it's just it's got this really cool like faith storyline because Gene Hackman plays a priest or a reverend that was like. So his whole arc is like he was kicked out of his church for being too radical. So he's
Okay.
being sent to like a random church in Africa somewhere. And his whole thing is like, don't pray for your problems, actually solve your problems kind of stuff. It's like God's not
Okay.
going to help you. You have to help yourself. Like really radical stuff for a priest to say. But like it's so good. It's so
So
good.
he has kind of like that struggle with faith, almost like, Mel Gibson's character in Signs, that little struggle with like, do you
Yeah.
believe or like do for yourself kind of thing.
Because there's definitely belief there, but it's more of like don't just sit there and pray, like actually do something for yourself. Like don't
Yeah.
just like hope a miracle is going to happen. It's cool. And then like the deaths are. I mean, again, that's the whole thing with disaster movies. They're very front loaded. Depending on how the disaster is structured, right? So it's very front loaded in terms of like the big thing happens at the beginning. And then the other deaths throughout the movie kind of happen. They're very emotional deaths,
Yeah.
which is really cool, but you don't get it in a lot of just like slashy horror movies. Like you still get like tough deaths, but it's more like there's more.
Yeah. There's it's pulling on the heartstrings. This film actually goes for it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like death is still a part of disaster movies, so it's not like it's not a light and fluffy watch. But yeah, so that's my pick. That's not coming till December. I'll watch it, but you can watch it now. It's
Oh, yeah.
New Year's themed. It's holiday themed.
Yeah, we just kind of want to, like I said, do this episode, bring out, because I know after Halloween, like I always get the hangover feeling, those blues where I'm like, oh, I got to wait another year before it's like that autumn feeling before it's that time, you know what I mean? But so then I always like watching, like I said, movies like this or like TV shows that we brought up. These are perfect watches, I think, to get you through November and December and everything.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a deep dive. I think this will be fun because I mentioned you haven't seen Terrifier 3 yet. Which what are you doing? Get there.
I know, I guess.
Still playing. Yeah. No, getting to the theaters is hard. I make it a point if it's a very specific thing, I go. Otherwise, things come to streaming so fast now anyway. So, but maybe we'll do like a Terrifier 3 holiday deep dive for an episode coming up. That'll be a good maybe near Thanksgiving, before or after Thanksgiving. And obviously
that'd be it.
week of Thanksgiving, there'll be nothing happening on the channel, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we'll be all swamped and busy.
Yeah, all drunk on turkey or drunk on actual booze.
I always work that night because we get time and a half. I always work because that's holiday pay, so I get time and a half.
Yeah. I work at a school, so we're closed. No time and a half available there, but no, good. Take advantage of it. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, thank you for joining us on this special
Thank you so
coffee
much.
break Halloween Hangover edition. Norrin, do you have anything to plug over at your channel?
So definitely coming up on my channel, I know, because now we're getting into November, and typically I want to say now, I really don't know what I'm going to do. Like idea wise, I've been tackling and watching a lot more extreme horror, which was kind of cool that we talked about it a little bit in this episode.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of kind of extreme, like WTF type of horror. So I might start doing maybe that, which would be kind of crazy because November is typically a holiday themed month. So maybe I'll just go completely opposite and talk
Like
about the most darkest,
like holiday sort of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, just go the most darkest route you can go. Because yeah, some of these films, like I said, that I've been watching, are like Martyrs level. Like we'll talk, well, like that's an example, like Martyrs level type stuff. That's the kind of
Or
extreme
Inside.
stuff.
Have you seen Inside yet?
I have not. That's on my watch list, so that one I
Yeah.
definitely need to.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
wild
watched.
one.
Oh my God, what did I just recently watch? Actually, Satan's Little Helper was streaming on
That's an
Shudder.
extreme one. I didn't know that.
It's like extreme black comedy, so it has like certain jokes. I don't know if we could talk about and say some of the jokes on here because of the content. I don't want to get demonetized or anything.
Well,
But
we're
there's
not
some.
monetized at all yet, but
Oh, okay, so
But,
yeah, there's like some.
we can talk afterwards.
Yeah,
Just
there's
in
some
case.
weird. And then oh my God, what else did I watch? I watched Eat. That was a fantastic one. Basically about a girl who slowly starts to eat herself.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe for November, I might start talking about some of these more kind of, WTF type horror movies that just kind of blew my mind in terms of the concept.
There was I wouldn't say it was like an extreme film, and I'm pretty sure it was French. I can't remember. There was a film I saw. It was a foreign film a couple of years ago. I saw at Brooklyn Horror Film Festival called Megalomaniac, I think it was called, or something like that.
Okay.
They were like two. It was a brother sister duo. They were children of a serial killer. And then kind of them going down a dark path. And there's
wow.
It's not like extreme throughout the whole thing, but there are definitely extreme moments throughout it. I would say that kind of peppered in,
Yeah.
That'd be one to check out, I think.
Nice. Yeah, Inside's one that I've been meaning to watch. So I think when I get a chance, because I'm off the next 2 nights. I've been working on straight through last week, so when I'm off, I think I might get that one in there.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to check those out. I'll have to watch some of the stuff that you're recommending because I got the stomach for it. I won't make my husband watch it, but All righty. Well, thank you again so much, Norrin. Everyone at home, thank you for checking us out. And be sure to check out Norrin's channel for that extreme horror coming up in November. We just recorded our next episode of Courage, the Cowardly Dog. So if you've been following along, the next episode is coming up real soon. Or I don't know, was it this week?
It'll be up in like the next couple of days. Yeah, I'll probably edit it. It'll probably be up probably actually the day right after Halloween, like November 1st, maybe in like a little Day of the Dead thing.
Yeah, so by the time you're watching this, the episode will be out. We're midway through season 3, about halfway through season 3. One more season to go, and then we're going to cover the Scooby-Doo Courage crossover movie. So I'm excited for that.
That'll give you some little comedy levity for the channel.
Yeah. Go from extreme to courage. I like it. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
Peace out.